the winner of Drag Race Philippines, the Philippines' next drag superstar is...
What a wonderful season! It's another win for Drag Race Philippines. And to Maxie, who took home the crown, deserve. As sad as it is that this is the very last episode of Drag Race Philippines Season 3, it's also the last episode of Dragsplaining. What are we gonna look forward to next week? Well, we're not stopping here. We will be covering Drag Race Thailand. I will be watching it. I'll be reacting to it. Of course, I can't explain anything, but I will be watching it with you guys. So we hope you're gonna join us for that experience. But let's circle back to Drag Race Philippines because that was one fabulous finale.
One of the best franchises.
Of course, they stuck true with tradition and they opened with the eliminated queens. It is so nice to see Versex back, and I love that she stuck to her like Versex aesthetic, but she did use the Filipiniana silhouette. Love seeing that always on any Drag Race season, but this one was so fierce and very real to who Versex is as a queen. Also, congratulations to her because she is this season's Miss Congeniality. Honestly, I was a little surprised, not because she had a little bit of drama during the earlier episodes, but she didn't stay in the competition for that long. So for her to be able to like make those connections with all the other queens, good for her, girl. Well-deserved Miss Congeniality crown. Oh my gosh, when Yudi walked out, I was so gagged because blue is such a great color on her. And the look was very like princess. It was a ball gown that reminded me of like a little bit of like a dark Tinkerbell for some reason. And I think Yudi is also one of the fashion girls and she brought it to this runway. So glad she finally has her luggage. J. Quinn also returned and her look was very true to her brand. And I think that of course for this episode, I'm sure they got a lot of time. They got a lot of time to rest and prepare for this moment. So it's really the most polished I've seen J. Quinn the entire season and I live. It's Madame John Fideliaga and that woman's face. Her face is really amazing in drag or out. And this drag look for me is so beautiful because it really showed off her brand. I love that she's representing this very contemporary Filipino look, but also contains elements of a callback to more traditional drag. Pop star bench is definitely a star, and that's why she was wearing this galaxy gown, galaxy look. It was so beautiful. The gradient, I was living for it. And yes, we all know that Miss Popstar Bench had this storyline of not having the best runway package, but this one was fabulous. It's no surprise that Mick Chanel brought something fabulous to the runway. Is it white? It was not white. I don't know if it was the iridescence of it, but like I couldn't tell if it was white, it was blue, it was gray, but like that was the magic of it. And of course, Zimba Ding will not let you down when it comes to bringing Filipino flavor to the runway. I love that it's still very on brand for her, but it's also very different. I mean, she had feathers for hair. That was so cool. Love seeing all these queens return to the runway. And I also love that Mama Pao went back to her drag roots by performing stunts in this performance. The show called it Buwis-Buhay, which is a term here in the Philippines which means something that is death-defying, performances that are filled with stunts that can be a little on the dangerous side. And the literal meaning of that term actually is to like maybe pay with your life, to like maybe sacrifice or gamble your life, doing something extremely dangerous, but the payoff is it's very entertaining. I will say though, for Mama Pao, that was pretty mild. I grew up seeing her in drag on noontime shows, doing the craziest kinds of stunts. Think Alarma, but she's doing it like 100 times in a row. Higher heights, more backup dancers. Like every 5 seconds, you'd be just like yelling because you're scared, but you're also like gagging. We did a video highlighting this before, so if you have time, watch that video too. I do feel like the studio that they were filming in maybe gave them a lot of limitations, so they couldn't do as grand of a performance. But honestly, it still worked for me. I mean, it's still way better than a lot of the performances that some of the other hosts do. No tea, no shade. We also appreciated the stage design for this performance because they were giving homage to like indigenous textiles, I think. And I would say it was a pretty respectful take. Plus, I also enjoyed that the eliminated queens were able to dance with Mama Pao for this number. That was kind of really, really cute. Their dance steps were actually giving very festival dance. Here in the Philippines, I felt like I was watching like Sinulog or Dinagyang. Now let's move on to the runway. And let's start it off by giving notice to the outfit arc of Mama Pao this season. Every single look, every single episode was fabulous, and every single one was a different take on the Filipiniana silhouette. Mama Pao really wanted to give Filipino flavor this season, and she succeeded, ending the season with this amazing black floral number that what I said when I saw it come out was it was like the Filipino Mary Poppins. Again, beauty queens who are looking for ideas for national costumes, you know where to look. And the final four were just as fabulous. For this finale, the runway categories were First Time's a Charm, Art Attack Extravaganza, and Best Drag, of course. And they really did bring their best drag to this stage. Angel and her first look was Body, Yadi, Yadi, and I Live. When she was coming down the runway, you know what I was thinking? I was like, she is known as the sexy girl this season, but honestly, we only got to see her sexiness physically a few times. Because I do think Angel proves the point that to be sexy, you don't always have to be showing skin. But if you want to, go ahead, girl. Her Art Attack look was amazing because it was this very sculptural, almost Paul de Malanta inspired outfit. And from what I know, Paul de Malanta is an artist known for landscapes. So there's a lot of waterfalls and nature in his paintings. And I think that Angel was very successful into turning that inspiration into this amazing look. And for her third look, she brought us gold. Oh, this was fabulous. I think it was tailored to her perfectly. Again, this one is also very sexy without much skin. It was glistening, it was gold, it was glittering. And the panel and Angel both said, karat. Of course, that is a play on the word carrot for gold, but in Tagalog gay slang, karat means any kind of sexual activity. Honestly, her entire runway package for this episode is really solidifying that she is the ambassadress of sex positivity. Love that for her. Now we move on to Khianna, whose First Time's a Charm look was so cute, but also so fierce. It was such a great interpretation of what she looked like during her first time in drag. Because I do think that when you look at that look, it is very Khianna. She has brought kooky and versatility this season, and we all live for that. For her Art Attack look, she focused on Filipino materials, and it was really, really beautiful. And she mentioned banig, which is our sleeping mat in the Philippines, made of buri or palm leaves. She also mentioned suhelia or sulihia, which is a very trendy design now, but it's actually a very distinctly Filipino weaving technique. Like here in the Philippines, we see a lot of furniture having that design because sulihia is a technique of weaving rattan. But my favorite of her three looks is her best drag look because this was an explosion. When it came down the runway, I was thinking this is really the perfect encapsulation, not only of Khianna's drag, but Khianna's story in this entire competition because she brought so much. She was good at dancing, she was good at comedy, she was kind of good at sewing, but she had everything for this season. And I feel like that look was a great representation of her arc this season. Moving on to Maxie, the look was kind of familiar because they did have that thing in Queen of the Universe, First Time in Drag, but she elevated it for Drag Race Philippines Season 3 and I was gagged. What I love about Maxie is she never shies away from color combinations, and this look was no exception, and it was such a beautiful transition from that very first look to her eventually winning Drag Race Philippines Season 3. And then for her Art Attack look, it was inspired by this mythological deity in Bisaya folklore, Lalahon. Now in Philippine folklore, we have these beings we call diwata, or like they're kind of like a cross between goddesses or fairies. And I love that Maxie pulled from that. I don't know if Maxie has Bisaya heritage, but Filipino mythology is actually really, really fascinating. I encourage all of you to explore it. And for her best drag, I think this was like a reference to Catriona Gray, who wore that winning lava gown at Miss Universe. And it's also very timely because right now, as we are filming, there are reports that Mount Taal is not happy. What I particularly love about it is for best drag, I think queens would love to look really perfect and polished, but she went the other direction and had like these splatters of glittery lava all over her face and neck, which gave it so much personality, just like her. Finally, it's our beloved Tita Baby. It's so funny that Tita Baby's first time in drag was like being like a police officer, but the way she translated that into this episode's runway was amazing. Because it could be really boring to come down the runway in like, you know, these police officer fabric, but she put stones on it and it fit her like a glove. If there's something about Tita Baby, it's she knows her body. For her art attack look, Tita Baby said she was referencing our national artist, Cesar Legazpi. And from my research, Cesar Legazpi is known for his like cubism work. And a lot of the depictions in his art are like the everyday Filipino. And looking at Tita Baby's look, I did not see that translated. I'm not sure if I'm just not that exposed to Cesar Legazpi's art, but I didn't see a lot of cubism in Tita Baby's look. She did say the inspiration was an unfinished work, so... But if this was not the category, it was some kind of a very interesting look anyway. And oh my gosh, when she came out in her best drag look, that really looked like her best drag. Because not only was it a well-made outfit, it was so on brand. It was this fabulous glittery Tita. It was like executive realness filtered through the Tita Baby brand, and I was in awe. I also appreciated that at one point Tita Baby said that
We need to widen the spectrum of the kinds of drag that are superstars.
and I do agree that like in recent years, I feel like we're narrowing it down to this very specific kind of winner. But let's not forget, Jinx Monsoon won, Bianca Del Rio won. There are so many ways to be a fabulous queen today. And I feel like Tita Baby, win or lose, represented that very, very well. Okay, what we expected for this finale was that there were gonna be 2 lip syncs to pick the top 2. But no, they went with T.I.T.E, a grand T.I.T.E. Can we just explain? You viewers have to understand why T.I.T.E is so funny to us. So in the Philippines, it is our word for peanuts. So Mama Pao constantly saying T.I.T.E the entire episode is just so funny to me. But yeah, we did not expect that it was gonna be 4 T.I.T.Es going up against each other. And that was a pleasant surprise because I always really prefer these like curated performances for the queens. Because I feel like the fair way to assess queens during the finale is to actually watch them perform a flavor of what we can expect outside of the competition. And every single queen did not disappoint. Miss Angel performed to her song ANGEL and it was a bop. You know what it gave me? It reminded me of Sasha Colby's GODDESS. During her finale, I loved it. Angel will never fail at performance. She can dance her ASS off. Really proves to us that Angel can always fighting hinabot. Now, if there's anything that I really love about Angel, it's that she probably is the most crude, most unfiltered queen I've seen in any Drag Race season across the entire franchise.
With another Angel as a performer, titigas pipiling nyo wag ko sa'yo.
And I don't think that's a bad thing because drag comes in a spectrum and there is that drag that specifically goes there all the time, and I love that Angel is that girl. Perfect example was how she received the 2 messages that she got from 2 very different men in her life. Angel is always going to be so unserious and I will forever be obsessed. You know what? World of Wonder needs to give her her own show. She is cuckoo and that is gonna break the internet. It's Khianna with a K, and that lip sync just proved to us all that she will not go down without a fight. First of all, I love the song. It was giving me Mortal Kombat. So for me, it was Khianna giving Kitana. And I will say almost all queens this season are great dancers, but I think Khianna is really an amazing dancer. Her song, by the way, was called Khianna Wins, and maybe she jinxed herself because we all know she didn't win. But she may have won in some other way. It was very interesting to me because Mama Pao asked her, like, do you like Maxie more than just, you know, being a competitor here? Because like you idolized Maxie. And probably just last week, I saw on Twitter clips of Maxie and Khianna making out. I'm not mad at it though. Speaking of Maxie, whoa, that was a show-stopping performance. That outfit was really, really cute. I don't think it was as like grand as the outfits of all the other queens, but I will say Maxie is a pop star. You know, in this channel, we also do a lot of P-pop videos, and I do think that Maxie should be a P-pop sensation. She always is giving me very pop star because she just knows how to work that stage. And in her performance, the girl did live singing. Of course, Maxie does live singing. She's the queen of the universe. My favorite part of the song was her ba-ding, ding, 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 ding. That is because bading is actually a term to refer to gay people, and we did a bakla vocabulary explaining bakla. Bading is under that category. It used to be derogatory, and of course, the gay community has since reclaimed it, and this is such a beautiful way to reclaim it from Maxie. Work it, bitch. Love that. And then we see Otong's video. Otong is Maxie and Angel's younger sibling. And my God, is she also a drag person. I'm so jealous. What is up with that household? Must be so fun. I think Tita Baby made the smartest choice of the night. Tita Baby knew that she cannot compete with these girls by being the dancer. So she went the comedy route, and for me, it really, really worked. I would say like maybe 70% of that performance was just being so funny with that setup. And did I hope that Tita Baby danced a little bit more? Yes, because she actually can dance. We saw that last week. But I love that the judges were also living for it because it was super, super funny. I feel like Tita Baby did the best in terms of giving us a taste of what we can expect with Tita Baby shows after this competition. And I really look forward to it. The reason why Tita Baby's bit was so funny was because number one, it was written to be really funny. It was so good. But also every single line was injected by her Tita brand. Back pain, no patience, very Tita. During this season, I feel like Tita Baby's narrative arc is one of the best. It started with her looking back and telling us about her struggles and how she started drag. And to end at this note, especially her telling Mama Pao that this is the most successful she has ever felt, was so poetic and it was so, so good. I also resonated so much with her quote, "Susuka pero hindi susuko."
Lahat susuka pero walang susuko.
And to translate that, it's like, yes, I will throw up, but I will not give up. Which is something that we say here in the Philippines every time we're gonna go out partying and we know we're gonna have a little bit too much to drink. But it's also a battle cry to never give up on life. Let's sidetrack a bit because their packages, their video packages talking about their journey in this season, they had amazing looks. All four of them looked so good in those video packages. Oh my God, why aren't these looks on the runway? Why weren't those looks on the runway? Now we go to the part where Mama Pao picks the final two. For me personally, based on what I saw, in my mind it was gonna be Maxie and Tita Baby just by sheer talent performances. But I knew that their track record in the competition, and as Mama Pao said, their other presentations had something to do with the judging. And so I kind of expected Khianna and Maxie to be the top two. And this is Drag Race Philippines, so these eliminations will not be like normal eliminations. Like when Tita Baby was asked to sashay away, I love that they forced her to show her reveal because yeah, it would have been so sayang. So I love that we got to see that glittery number under her dress. I love it. As for Angel, she did not want to go home. I think that was the first time in Drag Race history where it had to take, I don't know, 20 sashay aways for someone to actually be eliminated. Crown Angel as the unserious queen of the franchise.
Ang sakit na ng pepe ko, tama na kayo.
And then there were two. For the final lip sync of the season, it was down to Maxie and Khianna. And I must say, I think this was the top two that everyone expected from like, I don't know, episode 3 maybe, episode 4. Everyone has predicted this. And we're glad that it totally happened because we did get to see a really good show. Just by looking at their outfits, I knew that Khianna was gonna have a reveal at some point. And the two of them actually had very different looks. So I was like, what is the lip sync song? Because I feel like the lip sync song is going to dictate how this lip sync is gonna go. And because Drag Race Philippines is definitely going to be Filipino, of course, they were gonna end this season with a fabulous dramatic song. They went with Lipad ng Pangarap, which is a duet by two divas who also have already judged Drag Race Philippines. So it's this collaboration of divas Regine Velasquez and Angeline Quinto, and it's been used for a dramatic television series. What I love about this lip sync is it reminded me of sometimes those final showdown episodes in like these drama series about like warring superstars. It was giving me very like Lavinia versus Dorina in Between Walang Ningning. So I do appreciate that Drag Race Philippines finale is very much like a teleserye finale. It was really giving telenovela drama. And it was a perfect song because it literally means the flight of your dreams. And it's a song about fighting to reach your dreams. And that's what the two of them were doing in that moment. And I would say it was very, very powerful to see them really lip sync to such an intense, dramatic song. I was actually pleasantly surprised that Khianna still was able to work in her dancing talents, that intensity into such a dramatic moment. But Maxie did have such a better story because she had this beautiful gown and that crown moment, and to involve Angel was really, really cute. Now, I know that most people will be really, really confused. Some might be even upset that like Angel had that moment because she's not technically part of it. But that's a thing with Filipino drag, y'all. That's a thing with Filipino performance. It's very loose, it's very fluid, it's very in the moment. And I'm just so glad that Drag Race Philippines always succeeds at showing the world what Filipino drag really is. So I don't want to hear white people complain, oh my god, she told that moment, blah, 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 blah. No, that's our thing. And why would you hate if this is Maxie's way to show love to her sister? So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, let's recenter. And let's talk about the return of last season's winner, captivating Kat. Whoa, she looked fabulous. I don't know what that flower was. Was it a rose? Was it a gumamela? I don't know, but like this flower-inspired step-down look is giving me everything I need from the garden. Also, when Kat walked out, I actually asked. I was like, oh, are they good? When they filmed this, were her and Jiggly kind of good? And we can totally see that they were not. Now, this channel is never gonna be your place to send hate to any queens, so don't even try it. So I'm not gonna go into detail about the whole drama, but there was friction. Jiggly did not seem happy. I don't know if it was the edit. And then the part we've all been waiting for, we find out who is the Philippines' next drag superstar.
The winner of Drag Race Philippines. The Philippines' next drag superstar is Maxie.
Deserve! Maxie winning really isn't that surprising. We've seen her grow throughout the competition. My biggest fear when she was announced to be part of the cast was she was going to be seen as this one-trick pony who's done this thing from a different competition and that's all she could show. And I love getting to know Maxie even more, not just like as an artist, but also such a good brother. And she slayed comedy challenges, performance challenges. Maxie really is an all-around queen, and she totally is a great representation of where drag is going here in the Philippines.
Tutulungan ko kayo, pangako yan, dahil ang entablado ay para sa ating lahat!
And I will always remember that little boy who sang his heart out in that game show. Also, shout out to Khianna, gave us a really good show. What a fabulous queen. Really represented for the provincial queens. And I must say, from this season on, when people hear provincial queen, they should be scared. And I feel like this decision might be also because they want Khianna to be part of like maybe a global thing. or an All-Stars, and we will look forward to that. This is such a bittersweet moment because that was a really fabulous season. I'm so happy that the world has received Drag Race Philippines this positively. It's being considered as the best season of the year, especially coming after the first 2 seasons where the fans just went in and were kind of very critical. There was a reason that fans were so critical because Drag Race Philippines could be at this level. And I know that season 4 and the succeeding seasons are just gonna be so much better, and I can't wait. But this also means that this wraps up dragsplaining for this season. I'm definitely going to miss breaking the Filipino stuff down for all of you. But as I've said earlier, we do so much content on this channel, including reacting to Drag Race Thailand. And we're not really stopping because we might be having some of your queens on this channel very soon. And we can even go back in time. If you guys have been watching the older seasons of Drag Race Philippines and there are points there that you want to understand, let us know in the comments. We can definitely make videos explaining them to you. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to us here at SISNE POP, because we'd be more than happy to bring Filipino pop culture to the world. Thank you so much for joining us on this Drag Race Philippines ride. And we can't wait to bring you dragsplaining for the next season. Thank you so much for all your love and support this season. My name is Momo, and we'll see you in the next SISNE POP video.